Hello. Hi, Audrey.
You like my background? I'm in Monte Carlo today. Hi, Carlos.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I had to put a sweater on because it's cold in this office.
With the weather the way it is today, it's going to be like that. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm
Cold
wearing
to us compared to where everybody else is.
I'm wearing some vintage luxury cruise connections swag.
Yeah, nice.
Logo.
Nice. I need to put my Silversea jacket on.
So yeah, I love your background. That's right.
Thank you. Yeah, Monte Carlo. I did Monte Carlo a couple of years ago during the Grand Prix Monte Carlo, and it was just amazing. So I found this photo that we had taken at Silversea because Silversea's there.
By the way, I was this close to today confirming the on the Silversea Dawn pre-inaugural symposium event with Virtuoso, but no, I can't go. I can't make it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, me and David were gonna go, but we can't. It's just too soon, too much going on.
Yeah, it's a busy time right now, but the Dawn will be coming down to South Florida where you are, so we might just bring her right to you. How's that?
I very much look forward to it. I very much look forward to it. We you know, I'm extremely excited about today because we have, I think we're gonna have some real good turnout today. How many registrations do we have?
Over 100, actually. Last time I checked, we had 110.
110 registrations.
Wow. That's great.
Usually there's some people that register to get the recording, so some people will just get the recording later. But I think we're gonna have some good turnout today. A lot of enthusiasm and some good responses. People want to learn about Silversea.
Exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting. I think you guys are doing an incredible job. And especially now that Crystal Cruises is not around, I think you guys are an incredible alternative to people that haven't had a chance to try Silversea, that maybe, you know, we're used to, you know, Crystal's great service, bigger ships, and now, you know, great service, smaller ships. I think you guys, just like Crystal did, spend a substantial amount of investment in making sure your cuisine is on point, and so I think you guys are, you know,
we're excited. I mean, it's a sad thing for the industry to see a company like that go down and have so many loyal customers. I just want them to try Silversea once, because once they do, then they're going to be happy. So it's just getting them on board. So that's, hopefully we have some of those people here. We may have some of our past passengers, our Venetian Society, and then some new people to Silversea. That would be great. We're always looking for new to brand. And like I said, once we get them, usually they come back and they bring their friends. So our past passengers are our biggest Pied Pipers. We have a great promotion that's been ongoing for quite a few months now, a refer a friend program for people who are past passengers, which I'll talk about at the end of the presentation.
Audrey, we have enough. We're gonna have enough time to talk about like all the different products today, and I don't want to kind of spoil the. But you know, we're gonna have an opportunity to share with everybody about expedition and about Galapagos and about your new ship, all of it. No.
Well, I didn't go into the old 101 type of thing, but I do have the new ships, the fleet, and where they go, so we can talk about them.
Okay, so I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up in the Q&A a part of our event, because I think it's important for everybody to learn about the evolution of Silversea and how you know how you're more than just a traditional cruise line. You know, you have some incredible product now that I think, you know, since the acquisition of Royal Caribbean, you guys have made so much investment into new hardware. I think it's important that we share that. So I wanna kind of unofficially welcome our attendees today. We see some faces already in our screen, and some of you guys thank you for coming back. These are names and faces that I've seen in other events, so I very much thank you for joining us again in today's event. We're about a minute away from 3 p.m. and we plan on starting on time. And as we already have 35 people in today's event, and so it's going to be a very informative event. We're going to go through some introductions in a minute, some kind of housekeeping information in a minute. But most importantly, I want to welcome you all for joining us today and just giving us a little bit of time from your day to learn about Silversea, learn about the relationship between Luxury Cruise Connections, Silversea, hopefully about Luxury Cruise Connections. Many of you guys know us already. Some of you might not have done business with us in the past. So I will plug in 2-minute information on us as well. But I think the most important part of it is make sure that you all enjoy today's event, learn a lot about Silversea, and ask your questions. So 3 p.m. on the dot. So officially welcoming everybody to our Silversea event. Not our first one, but certainly one that we like to host quite a bit because there's so much going on, so many changes happening, so many things happening around the world, around the industry with Silversea. And I know that our followers, our guests, our loyal clients, our avid cruisers that really want to make sure they're selecting the right cruise for your next vacation. And we do this so that we can provide information, we can provide value, we can provide education, details, and just open up a space for you to ask questions and learn everything you want to know so that you can make sure you're planning the perfect cruise vacation next time. And so we're bringing Audrey Corso. Audrey, I'm going to let you introduce yourself officially in a second. But before we do that, I want to make sure you all know that there's a chat box that is open for everybody to ask your questions, right? So I'm gonna just type hello. So this is where you would basically ask your questions, type your questions throughout the presentation, right? Because we don't want to interrupt Audrey in the middle of it. But at the end, we will open up some time for us to ask some live questions. I will make sure I read every single one of the questions that you have that you post in the chat, but also we'll have an opportunity to interact live with Audrey and me, of course, and you can ask some additional questions then as well, right? So while the presentation is going on, just type your questions there. So official introductions, I'm Carlos Edry, and I'm the CEO of Luxury Cruise Connections. For those that know us very well, you know what we do. For those that don't, we are a luxury cruise agency focused on making people happy and on planning the perfect luxury cruise vacation for all of you. We specialize in luxury cruises. We specialize in customer service. We specialize in relationships, and we specialize in making the impossible happen for all of you guys. That's what we do. We love making you happy. And so that's one of the reasons why we host this event, so that we can educate our guests, educate our audience on all these details, so that we can make sure that whatever we're planning for you is exactly what you were looking for. And so Audrey Corso here, she's our main point of contact at Silversea. She's the one that helps us make all this magic happen for you guys. And Audrey, without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself officially and take it away.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Denise, and everybody at Forest Travel. A wonderful, wonderful agency to work with that I've been working with for quite some time now. I am Audrey Corso, the area sales director for South Florida, and I've been with Silversea for approximately almost 6 years now, but I've been in the business for 30. So I've been around a long time, worked for a few of the other luxury lines, small cruising mainly, but yeah, so I found my home at Silversea. It's a wonderful product. We've been around for 27 years now. We were privately owned and operated for 25 of those years. And what happened a couple of years ago, before actually, the pandemic, part of Silversea was purchased by Royal Caribbean. I was so excited about that because a lot of people had never heard of Silversea. Maybe the people who are in the luxury segment have heard of us, but nobody else. And so I thought it was going to bring a lot of awareness, and it has. And then last year they purchased the rest and the remaining part of Silversea. So we are 100% owned by Royal Caribbean Group. A lot has happened since then. We've built more ships. We're building more ships. We refurbished almost every single ship from the older fleet. So we have all different kinds of ships, expedition ships. We've been doing expedition for about 12 years now. So I'm going to try to share my screen with you. I hope it works. Oh, maybe. Can you see it? You can? Yep. Oh my gosh, it worked. Okay, so Forest Travel. Now, Forest Travel, to work with them, phenomenal. All of these guys have been on Silversea. They are experts. They come to me if they have any questions.
Forest Travel, just a quick clarification.
Sorry.
Forest Travel is the name of our mother company. Luxury Cruise Connections is the brand that you know, but we're the same entity. So
yeah, it's a family. Again, I'm sorry, I always go by the main family, but Luxury Cruise Connections, all of these guys pretty much have been on Silversea. They know the product very well. They know their destinations, and they'll be able to help you with this product. So we'll start off with one of our lovely videos. We have many of them, but this is a good one.
I'd like to say just one thing. It's time. It's time to go to the edges of the world and see that there is no end to discovery. It's time to go out and seek those hidden treasures. The most precious things on earth.
I can't hear now.
The world is reopening. Open up to the world.
Mr. McCurry, we're about to leave port.
Would you please have this sent to me before we go?
Certainly, sir.
It's a great video. That's Steve McCurry. He's a Pulitzer Prize winner, photographer, and we have consulted with him and have hired him for the last 5 years to do all of our videos, all of our brochures. He won a Pulitzer Prize for National Geographic, The Girl with the Green Eyes, if you remember that image.
Guys, I know that the video didn't have good quality and sound, so we will make sure to send that video together with the recording of this event. It's definitely worthwhile. It's a very nice video. So
yes, I'm sorry. I forgot how videos can be sometimes. So usually I don't put them in at all, but it was one that was in there. But that is Steve McCurry. He never took a cruise in his life before we hired him, and now he's been cruising all over the world with Silversea. But we have been open. The world has opened up, and we started sailing last year in June. We started in Alaska, Greece, Antarctica, Northern Europe, and Iceland. And so we have half of the fleet in the water right now, with the other half coming out soon. So to give you an idea of what our ships are, where we're going, where we've been, the ships, let me see if I can get rid of this chat boxy thing. Okay, there we go. So we have the Shadow class. The Shadow class, the smaller of the classic vessels. We have classic, we have expedition. Those are 388 passengers. Silver Whisper's in the fleet right now doing our world cruise. So we have our world cruise on the Silver Whisper every year. In 2024, though, we'll have her, we'll do the world cruise on the Silver Shadow. It's a wonderful size ship, great amenities on board. The Silver Shadow's been completely refurbished, and so the Whisper will probably be the next one to go in. We've been doing expedition, like I said, for about 17, 15 years now. I can't remember with all these 2-year laps that we had, but we have the Silver Origin, which is a brand new ship. She's in the Galapagos. She's stationed there year round. She was our first purposely built ship for expedition, and she holds 100 passengers. So she's the smallest of the entire fleet. And then we have the Wind, the Cloud. Those are sister ships. They were actually the 2 very first ships of Silversea, and they were classic vessels that we have converted into being expedition. The ice class hull, breaking through the ice. The wonderful thing about the Silver Cloud and Wind is that they were classic vessels that were converted, and so the restaurants are there. You have 5 restaurants to choose from, going to Antarctic, going to these polar regions, and getting that same experience, the same luxury. You're going out there exploring, doing these exotic itineraries, and then coming back to that luxury ship. Then we have the Silver Explorer. She's also doing the polar region. She's 144 passengers. She does the polars, she does exotics like the Kimberley Coast, Australia, New Zealand, Asia. But we have these ships all over the world. I mean, we cover all 7 continents with the classic vessels and with the expedition ships. But in 2017, we started building again, okay? And the first ship we built was the Silver Muse. And she was 596 passengers. What was different about her is that we didn't put a main dining room on the Silver Muse. We put 8 different restaurants on that ship. So that was a little different for the people who've sailed with Silversea for 25 years and not having a main dining room. But there is a dining room that is somewhat like the main dining room. But on a 7-day cruise, you got 7 different restaurants to choose from. It's fantastic. So now they're loving the idea. It's gotten to them since then. I just sailed on her in August. She looks I saw her the first day she came out of the shipyard, and she was absolutely beautiful. She smelled like a new car. First time I'd ever done that. And then I went and saw her in August in Seattle doing Alaska, and she looked exactly, I mean, she was sparkling. So she is a beautiful ship. And then we have the Silver Moon that came out this past year, brand new, 596. She's sister ship to the Muse, along with the Dawn that's coming out in April. So she will start in April. So all 3 of those ships right there are sister ships. It's the Muse class. The Silver Spirit is a little different. She was 540 passengers 2 years ago. What happened? She's now 608. What did we do? We cut her in half. We stretched her by 49 feet. We put in the 8 restaurants, more silver suites because silvers are in high demand on Silversea. And then, so we sewed her back up, and now she's cruising again. She's right now doing the Caribbean itinerary, so she's out there sailing. And then we're introducing the Nova class, and the Nova class is coming out. The first ship is the Silver Nova. I call her the Supernova. She's going to be about 723 passengers, 50,000 tons. So you understand something, okay? To give you an idea, 50,000 ton ship, we'll start with the Muse. She's a 40,000 ton ship. She holds 596 passengers. On another cruise line, that same size ship is holding 1,250 passengers. So you're getting a much larger ship with a small number of passengers. You're getting big public areas, big suites, 387 square feet is your minimum category on the Silver Muse and those ships. So that's how that's looking. The Nova is going to be very different. She's going to be the greenest ship out there with no emissions. She's going to be battery operated when we're in port. There's all kinds of things that are going on that is going to be new to that class of ship. And then the next ship after that will be 2024. So we're moving right along all through all of this. Spacious accommodations. So this is your average veranda suite, 387 square feet, walk-in closets, marble bathrooms, tub, separate shower. And then of course you have your accommodations in the suite. You have the couch, 2 TVs. So everything, there are no inside cabins. They are ocean view or balcony suites, 90% with verandas. Bedrooms with separate sitting areas, walk-in closets, like I said. You have a refrigerator and bar setup stocked with your preferences. So if you say you have to have Chivas in your room, the day of embarkation, we're going to make sure that there is Chivas in your room to do that toast on the balcony as we're disembarking and doing our sail away. Bathrobes and slippers. You're going to have a safe. Your choice of pillow types, you got 7 different pillow types to choose from. Unlimited Wi-Fi. There are actually there's Bulgari products in your suite, but there's also some other products that you can choose from. What will happen is the first day that you get on board, your butler is going to come into your suite and he's going to introduce himself and ask if you need anything, and he's going to tell you what bath products we have. We have the Bulgari, we have the ones for people who can't have any perfumes or things like that, so allergy-free products. So there's all kinds of choices there. You're getting personalized stationery, an umbrella, hair dryer, direct dial telephone. And then of course, that's just in your suite. Now we've introduced some really crazy things with Silversea. So now we've just introduced door-to-door service. This is something new. Nobody is doing it. It is a private car picking you up from your home, taking you to the airport. Then you're flying off to take your cruise. When you come home at the airport, that private car is picking you up and taking you home. So that's a service that we offer. It's optional. You don't have to take it. You'll get dollars off if you don't take it. If your brother lives next door and it's going to take you to the airport, you don't need it. You can get that credit for it. But it is a nice feature to have when you're booking the door to door. And what door to door means is that you are getting that private car if you want it. You're getting the air. You're getting business class air if you want it on certain destinations at a much reduced lower price. For instance, for the Med, it's $6.99 each way. Right now, I think it's about, I've priced it out to about $4,000 in some cases, round trip for a business class. But international flights, always included. Your pre-cruise hotel stay, if that's necessary with the air, we will include that. All of your transfers and luggage handling, your post-cruise stay, return flight, private car again. All your shore excursions, that is something new for Silversea too. The shore excursions were always included for our expedition ships, doing wet and dry landings with the Zodiacs. But now, as of April, all shore excursions are included for Silversea, and it's not just a city tour, an hour and a half city tour. There's about 3 or 4 different shore excursions to choose from in each port. You get 1 complimentary for each port. There's going to be other shore excursions that you can purchase, like, for instance, an airplane ride in Alaska. So that would be additional, but there will be some shore excursions offered, like I said, in every port. Multiple restaurants to choose from, in-suite dining, 24 hours, complimentary. Premium beverages in-suite and throughout the ship are included. And when you take expedition, you're getting, of course, your expedition team, the lectures, the Zodiacs, land and sea tours, shoreside events are included. Complimentary expedition gear, including a parka that you're going to get to keep. With our excursions that we do with snorkeling, it's brand new snorkel gear. You get to take that home with you. So we offer that. We offer complimentary kayaking on some of our itineraries, like with Galapagos, Antarctica. So that would all be included with Silversea. So what else is new with Silversea is that we've got this new port-to-port pricing. This is very different. This is a little bit more restrictive. So it is up to 25% savings, though, on your cruise, but you're not getting any of the door-to-door private car. You're not getting the air. And the other thing is that when you're making your deposit, it's a non-refundable deposit. Right now, it's a 15% deposit, but it is non-refundable. Now, this port to port, so you'll see this only on select voyages on our website that we are offering port to port fares. They do go away. So you could see something offering a port to port today, and in a week you go back to our website on that same sailing and the port to port is no longer being offered. So it's really much better for you to take the whole package, and then if you need to unbundle it in some way and you don't need the car, or you don't need the air because you have points, that one has not as many restrictions. You can cancel, get your deposit back minus the admin fee of $250, but the $250 admin fee can always get moved to another voyage, so it's not like you're losing anything if you end up doing that. So it's an ideal option for those people who have miles, who want to do their own thing, deviate like crazy, and they know they're going on this cruise and they're not going to cancel, because we don't want you to have to worry about that deposit not being refundable. So that's the new port to port, and that includes, like I said, it's basically just your cruise only, and that's it. But it is gourmet excellence on Silversea. We have up to 8 different restaurants to choose from on some of our ships, those ships that are from 2017 and up. On the Wind and the Whisper, there's 5 restaurants. But La Dame is our French restaurant. There is a surcharge for that of $60 per person. It's paired with wines and your food all evening, and it's fantastic. But I'm sure that we can give you a shipboard credit that will pay for the La Dame if that's what you're going to do. La Terrazza across the board on all of our ships. It's Italian, and it's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's buffet or sit-down menu, so it's whatever you'd like. And at dinner, it's not buffet. It's just strictly transforms into a very nice Italian dinner. And then we have the grill for those who do not want to get dressed up. Let's say on a formal night, you don't want to get dressed up, or you want to go out to the pool and enjoy the fresh air. We have the grill, which is outside. So it's hot rock. So it's a hot rock that's cooking your food, whether it's a shish kebab, steak, lobster tails, and that's cooking, steaming with vegetables to your table, and it sits there for 3 minutes, and then you flip it over for another 3 and dinner's right there. So it's really great for groups, great for family travel, and for those who don't want to get dressed up, like I said. But we don't have a lot of formal nights on board Silversea. We have really on a 9-day cruise, 1. On my 10-day cruise in Alaska, there were 2. But in Alaska, it's not as formal as it is really on, let's say, some of our other itineraries that we have in the Med or something like that. Longer voyages, you'll have more than one formal night. Kasiki, Japanese restaurant, sushi. During the day, it's complimentary. This restaurant, it only seats about 14. And there is a surcharge in the evening for it, and that is $40 per person. Salt is something new for Silversea. That is something that's on the Silver Moon that we introduced. It's sea and land taste. It's all about the destination that we're going to, whether it be in Italy or we're in South America or in the Caribbean somewhere. It's going to encompass all of that destination, whether it be in the bar, in the culinary lab, or in the restaurant. So it really goes with the destination that you are in at the time. So the menu changes every single day. And all these other restaurants, it doesn't change every day. So if it's a long cruise, they will change it out every 10 days, but on a normal 7-day cruise in La Terrazza, for instance, the menu does not change. Even in La Dame, sometimes people will reserve La Dame every single night, and then once they get on board and realize that it's the same menu, they decide to change their reservation. So the maitre d' is doing a lot of changes at that point. Atlantide is more like your main dining room. Again, the menu doesn't change. You have seafood, meat, pasta, chicken, everything you could possibly think of is in Atlantide. And then we have the Silver Note. Silver Note is live jazz and blues playing every single night, and a very eclectic menu, but it's surrounding all the other restaurants. People can hear the music, and after dinner are coming into the Silver Note to listen to the entertainer, and it's fantastic. Scapinopoli is on our ships from the Muse class on, and that is a pizzeria that's open until 11 p.m., and it is fantastic. But we do cover the entire world, okay? All 7 continents, over 950 ports of call. People ask me all the time, what makes you different than these other cruise lines that are out there, these other luxury lines? And that is one thing, is the destinations, the ports we go to, over 900. Our competition goes to about 350 in a year, and we're doing about 900. So from iconic cities to remote islands and the poles, including 7 maiden ports of call this year alone. So expedition ships are all over. And so wherever there's land and water, we're getting there in one of our ships. So it is those places that we visit. That's what sets us apart. It's the size of our ships, the number of passengers, crew to staff ratio. Every single person on Silversea gets a cabin steward and a butler. It's not just the owner's suite and the grand suite. So everybody's getting that same level of service. And a lot of people have always said to me, well, what am I going to do with a butler? I have my husband, he's right here. But every time somebody takes a Silversea cruise, they come running back to me going, I wanted to take my butler home with me. I can tell you what he did for me in Alaska. I had made reservations for dinner in a lot of the restaurants, and I had forgotten I had done that. And when I came on board, I started making all these reservations on board, and then they said, you have dinner reservations in 2 restaurants for the whole 10 days. And I said, okay, stop the presses, just do this and this and this. And the butler took care of all of that. He'll make a bubble bath for you at 6 o'clock every night. If you want to have caviar before dinner sent to your room, they're going to be able to do that for you. Boy, they make it. I wanted to take mine home after I took that Alaska cruise, but that is another difference there. And the room size, an average room on our competition is 300 square feet. We're 387. There's a lot of space there. So that's what the differences are. Here's one of our brand new ships, the Silver Origin, 100 passengers. She's in the Galapagos now doing a 7-day cruise, and it's there all year long. And then what we do is we bundle it with 2 nights in Quito. We give you your air, so you're getting your air, your transfers, entrance into the park, your inter-island flights, and then your cruise. So, and a day room on the post. So it's a lovely experience. It feels like you're in another world. And then we introduced the Silver Moon with the SALT program. So that was new, introducing that to the Silver Moon. It's actually going to be on the Nova and on all the other ships that we are building now also. It's taken off. So you have the salt kitchen, the salt bar with all the spices and vanillas if we're in Jamaica, for instance, or something like that. And then the salt lab, and then salt experiences on shore. There'll be shore excursions that go along with that too. For all the foodies out there, this is really a great, great thing. An addition, an enhancement to what you're getting on board Silversea with regards to our food. So it's really nice. Onboard cuisine inspired by local flavors, cocktails and wines in the bar, and the same thing. And then our culinary excursions. And then with the Silver Dawn, what will be the focus on this ship, which I think is fantastic, is going to be, it's going to be all about pampering and all about the spa experience. And not that we haven't had that before, but now it's going to be like over the top experiences. You go to the spa one day, then you're going to come back to your room and you're going to have an experience in your room, whether it's on the balcony with some caviar and champagne or having a bubble bath afterwards, set up for you with some special scents in there. But it is just pamper and indulge. So the bathing experience, your sleeping experience with all of the scents that you can, pick and choose from, and the best foods to go along with that experience. So that's what we are doing with the Silver Dawn. And then the Silver Nova, her launch date is going to be July 23. We already have sailings for her for sale. What we do with every single new ship that comes to Silversea is we introduce them. She's being built in Germany. She will launch in July. She will start in the Mediterranean, and then she's going to head down in transatlantic down to South Florida for a few sailings, and then she's going to do Circle South America. So that's what we do every year with our new ships. So that's what the Nova is going to do. But I think usually they go back to Europe. I think the Nova is going to go to Alaska. That's a little inner thing that nobody knows about yet, except for you. But we do have, this ship is going to be really, really different. The battery power, waste to energy, 40% overall reduction in greenhouse emissions for double occupancy passengers. I mean, it's going to be so great. I mean, I'm so excited. I mean, we should have done this a long time ago, but this new ship is going to look beautiful, very different from the others. With her schematics, there's going to be 5 new categories in the upper categories on this ship to choose from. The layouts are going to be different, the layout of the pool. So take a look. You can look at all of that online, or your travel advisor can send you all the videos and all the information on the Nova if that's what you're interested in. But it is all about the pamper and indulge, going out on these fantastic adventures. It's so experiential getting off of the ship, and then you're coming on to this luxury cruise. So lots of pampering. And so we have these offers out there right now. So for you, those who are past passengers of Silversea probably already know about this, but if you do become a past passenger and you sail with us and you refer a friend at this point in time, right now, this is good until May 31st, but we do this all the time. We have end dates and then we revamp them again. This has been going on for about 6 months. They warned me that it's going away, but we'll always have something for our Venetian Society. But right now what it is $500 off of a cruise for the Venetian Society that they don't have to use. They don't even have to be booked right now, but it will accumulate. They can refer up to 4 friends, and their friends get $500 off of their cruise too. So they're always, you know, they're our biggest advocates. They sell Silversea very well. They come back raving about it. They tell all their friends, and then the next thing you know, they're bringing them with them the next year. So we have that out there. That's good until May 31st. We have a lot of solo travelers come on Silversea. Our solo supplements are as low as 25%. I've seen them lower. So watch out for those, or ask your specialist if there's anything out there that's lower, or if there is something that comes up to let you know. But, you know, on other cruise lines, you're paying double what a solo for a solo traveler. You're paying what 2 people would pay for. So it's really a nice thing for our solo travelers. So the Silversea difference, really, it's going to these amazing places that the big ships don't go to. We stay in port longer. We overnight in the middle of your cruise. You're getting more time to experience the destination, which is exactly why you're there, is to experience it. But a lot of things that we do, the others don't do. We can embark our passengers on those smaller vessels like the Wind and the Cloud right from London Tower Bridge. We embark and disembark our passengers. When we go to other places like Venice, the ship is going to Venice. Other ships can't go to Venice. And the other thing you should know with our expedition ships, I mean, our expedition ships, you're getting off of the ship and you're going on to land. Whereas some of these ships, you can say you're going to Antarctica, but you're just driving by, or you're not getting off the ship and you're not getting off at all. Or you're getting off and you're paying $5,000 for a shore excursion. So with everything included with Silversea, up close and personal, these expedition team leaders are so experienced. They've been with us a long time. Some of them have been with us the entire time. And what about that shipwreck they just found yesterday? That was somebody who was a Silversea captain at one point who found that ship, Shackelford's ship. So that was real exciting news that we heard just yesterday. But it's these wonderful places we go to all over the world. We go to Alaska, we go to the Caribbean, the ones closer to home, Canada, New England. We go to the Med, we do all the exotics too. So it's just, where do you want to go? You've all been home for so long. I mean, I can't imagine. My list is growing and growing every day. But it's all suite accommodations, personalized service, gourmet excellence. It's an all-inclusive lifestyle, and we are the leaders in destination. Look at how long we spend in port. Look at what the others do. Do a comparison, apples to apples, and you'll see those differences really up close. Or you can have your advisor show you what those are, what those differences are. But it's unique encounters. It's going to festivals that only happen once a year in Papua New Guinea, and we're going there with our guests. Nobody else can go. So we do these for them. The spectacular wildlife. It's just unbelievable what you're going to see. So we have another thing here now, and if anybody has any questions about destinations, we can go over that, and we can get that information to you. But we have the Luxury Cruise Connection Zoom special. Okay, that's $500 off any new booking made, applicable to all voyages, okay? But it is not combinable with port-to-port fares. That's what you have to know. So it's combinable with the door-to-door, okay? Not combinable with port-to-port, combinable with Virtuoso, which Luxury Cruise Connections is a part of, which is the biggest consortium and the most robust, with giving them the best amenities, the best support. So there are Virtuoso sailings that they can pick for you that will give you special amenities, and it is combinable with that. And that $500 off, the only thing it's not applicable to is World Cruising Grand Voyages. But believe me, I'll find something to give you as a special thank you for booking Silversea if you do book one of those voyages. But we have another offer. Okay, so there's all kinds of things out there, but this is something that's really exclusive, and it's a private sale. We've picked 70 sailings out there that we're offering the door-to-door, but it's an additional 15% off of the cruise fare. Okay, so it's 15% off. It's only on the lower categories up to deluxe. So it's Vista, Classic, Deluxe, Superior, and those categories that this would apply to, but you're getting a 15% reduction. It's on sailings May through August, and it's on a lot of different destinations, some Alaska, some Galapagos, some in the Med, some in the Caribbean, maybe, no, maybe not, because, or maybe the trans sailing. So they have the list. And if you want to pick one of those and you want to leave pretty quickly, then we have those out there. The promo is valid until March 31. The restriction on this one is that it is a 25% deposit, and it is non-refundable. So you have to know that you are going on this cruise before you decide to take that private sail with that additional savings. So, but there are 70 different voyages to choose from. And again, it's good until March 31st. So there's a few offers out there, and it is probably a little hard to wrap around all of that, but we can explain that to you. Your advisor will work with you. If you have some itinerary in mind, they can research that for you. And
that's what we're here for, right? I mean, that's literally what we're here for.
That's exactly right. An advisor is more important now than ever before. I mean,
I know that it's a lot of information, but I guess in general, the important piece of this is because of the strong relationship that we have with Silversea, there are so many different private offers that if you were to go to Silversea's website, you would not find, but that we can even publish on our website most of the time.
right.
They have their offers that have to be kind of communicated verbally or privately with our clients, because we don't want to disrupt the market. That's how strong these offers sometimes are. So I want to make sure that you know that just reach out to us or let us know you're interested. We'll be happy to reach out to you, and that way we can share with you what offer applies for your sailing. and I'm going to get to all of your questions. I'm monitoring all the questions in the chat, so I will get to all of them very, very soon. Okay.
But that's really it. So we can pretty much get to those questions if you want to.
Okay.
And I hope I didn't miss anything. I figured it was people that really knew a little bit more about Silversea, or I would have done it a little differently. But,
No,
but
I
I
mean,
think
no, you did great, and I appreciate it very much. You know,
Thank you.
we will cover all of the questions, but I think the biggest message here is for our guests and our audience to understand kind of the general scope of what Silversea stands for, right? And so the typical client of Silversea, the typical guest and cruiser with Silversea is a luxury traveler that will enjoy some fine touches both in decor, cuisine, and service, and that will appreciate the level of personalization and intimacy that the ships will allow for, right? These are small ships, very intimate, personalized level of service, where you're gonna realize how quickly the staff gets to know your name and recognize you as a person, not just as one more not just a number in the ship. And you're gonna realize that those special touches and special experiences that you're gonna get with not only the service on board, but also the ability to dock in this very unique ports that bigger ships just cannot get to. That's what the Silversea experience is all about, right? Is this very luxurious yet not too stuffy, right? Because it's never stuffy, but is very personal, and making sure that you can get to ports and get to places that otherwise just bigger ships cannot get to. So I think this presentation allowed for a lot of that to be explained, and to know that the future for Silversea is amazing, right? Just every single one of the ships within the Silversea fleet is spectacular, right? But I want to personally highlight the experience that the Origin will provide in Galapagos is uncomparable to any other Galapagos experience you can get, right? I mean, it's 100 guest ultra luxury ship. It is by far, without a doubt, right, the most luxurious ship in Galapagos. That will allow you to experience this very nature driven and this very, this amazing connection to nature, yet being able to have this spectacular, luxurious experience when you're back on board the ship, right? And then you have, without a doubt, the most luxurious experience in Antarctica, right? On your expedition vessels. And then you have an incredible experience in terms of amenities and destinations on the newer ships, the Dawn, the Muse. Every single client that we have coming back from any of the ships just shares with us how Silversea just took it to another level. And we can't wait about the Nova. I mean, the Nova class, we don't know every single detail yet. I can't wait to know what else you're going to share with the public soon, but I know more information is coming soon. Because I know that brand or that class of ships is going to be much more than just about the ecological impact that it has, but also the amenities and the experience on board, which we know little about at this point, right? But I know
the design alone is going to be very, very different and unique. So it's going to be,
I can't wait.
Yeah, we're releasing little by little is what we're doing. So we have artist renditions of things up there. We have a couple of videos, but not really about, it's just a beautiful thing showing.
We already have clients that are booked and ready to go on the Nova because they know you're going to deliver. So that's impressive for a brand, right? When people trust the brand that much to all we know it's going to be a very cool ship. We don't know anything else. And then people are booking it like crazy. That says a lot about the brand. So I'm happy. I'm happy that that's the case.
Yes.
I'm going to go straight to the questions. And by the way, yes, you're going to see some polls come up. We want to learn a little bit about you and what you know about Silversea and about us. So you're going to see a couple of these come up. Please feel free to answer them. And then we'll share some of those results toward the end.
Am I supposed to answer, Carlos?
Well, not you, because we know that you've sailed with Silversea. But so far, interestingly enough, 77% of our respondents so far have not been on a Silversea cruise yet. So
Wow.
great opportunity for you guys to try this out. Great opportunity for sure.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So
I love
anyway,
that.
I'm gonna
That's
go
very, very
straight.
nice.
I'm gonna go straight with some of the questions. I'm gonna start with one of our very loyal clients. Happy to see you here, David and Cheryl. How are you? We appreciate your loyalty and always being with us in this event. So David is asking, as usual, I have a real concern of viruses. Can Silversea please explain what they have for a more protected voyage, as well as what changes they made to make for this enhanced protection?
That is a great question. And, you know, these things have been changing rapidly all the time. And we just got some new information just yesterday that was released. So the protocols have changed for Silversea when it comes to vaccine and boosters. So there is no booster required at this point. Now, if we're going to a place, for instance, where Spain is requiring a booster, then you would have to have a booster for that itinerary. But Silversea as a company is not requiring the booster, whereas we were doing that a few months ago and telling people that we were going to require that. So that has changed as of yesterday. Also, the PCR or antigen tests, those can be either or, not just PCR, so that's changed. Masking has been taken away, except for in the muster station, in the theater, and the casino. But you'll maybe see 2 people in the casino on Silversea. So maybe masking won't be necessary there, but so then so the masks, the PCR tests, up to 48 hours and 72 hours. Up-to-date booster vaccinated guests have 72 hours. They get 3 days. If you are vaccinated, you will have a much easier process of boarding. So it'll be an earlier boarding instead of us having to give you the test. We will be offering testing for those who can't get it up through the end of April. So those are the new protocols when it comes to vaccines and masks and things like that. When it comes to a canceled cruise, if Silversea, you have up until 75 days prior to sailing right now, and those are for sailings that are sailing from March through the end of August. Then it goes to our normal cancellation policy, but you do have up until 75 days prior to cancel your cruise without penalty and get an FCC refund. But if Silversea does cancel a cruise, we've been very generous throughout this pandemic with our guests who've rebooked and rebooked and rebooked. But what happens is if we end up having to cancel the cruise, what we're going to do is we'll offer you an incentive to go to another cruise, so 10%, 15%, whatever it may be, to move to another voyage, or you can ask for a complete refund and we'll give you a complete refund. So it is
I want to
very
clarify.
flexible.
I want to also add to that look, Silversea has been notorious throughout the pandemic for being that cruise line that will not cancel or suspend an itinerary unless until the very last minute. And I appreciate that because you know, sometimes that has helped with some destinations that had a little bit of uncertainty, and then at the end people were able to travel to. But the one thing that has also been very consistent throughout the pandemic has been that, you know, they're not taking any unnecessary risks neither, right? So they're not traveling or doing anything that could put the health and safety of the guests at any risk, right? Enhancements like sanitation, like I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Audrey, but air conditioning systems and so forth, all of that has been taken care of for, you know, to maximize on that safety.
The whole time.
But the requirements in terms of testing, of mask, of distancing, and so forth. All of that is going to be very much based on what the CDC is recommending, and you will see those policies change as time goes by, based on the risk level of, you know, whether there, you know, there's a spike in cases or whatever. Hopefully never again, but you know, it is what it is. And you'll see Silversea and all cruise lines kind of go by those same requirements. Hopefully, David, that answered the question. But if anybody has any more questions on that, please feel free to let us know, and we'll be happy to kind of circle back on it. Jerry, I believe.
Can I interrupt you?
Of course.